Thank you for downloading the podcast. Welcome to Pop Culture Connection. I almost forgot the name of the show there for a second. Larry Mormon here. I'm actually on location. Really just means is I'm not home. And if you hear that humming in the background, that's a central air, something that I don't have, and quite frankly, I'm very happy to be in right now. I'm joined here by a friend of mine, a long friend of mine, probably almost too long, my friend Anthony Chu. Anthony, welcome back to Pop Culture Connection.
And ladies and gentlemen listening to this podcast, the world over podcast universe, welcome to Castle Chuzilla, right here in the Garden State of New Jersey. I'd like to welcome everyone to my humble abode. The idea that we are doing a podcast out of Merrick, New York is an honor for me to host this here at my castle. A pleasure for me to be here. We're going to really talk about some good topics tonight. It is about 2:30 in the morning right now on a Saturday night, going to Sunday morning. Well, Sunday morning really, and we're up. We're ready to go. So, Mr. Mormon, hit us off with some topics here, brother.
I'm trying to load the topics here. It's kind of a little odd. Well, in any event, right now, as we talk, on the other side of the country, where a good friend of ours lives nearby, San Diego Comic-Con is in full swing, and there is a lot of news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. Just real quick, if I might, A, learn how to speak English, and B, digress for a moment. A lot of news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. Trailers galore, stuff, comic books, movies, video games, toys, everything is coming out of San Diego Comic-Con right now. Just some of the stuff, we're not going to talk about it here right now. We're going to talk about some stuff. There's actually three, spoiler alert, three trailers that we're actually going to watch. I've seen one of them already. No, two of them then. But my friend Anthony here has not seen these three trailers. Basically trailers for, first, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Then we're going to see the trailer for the Starz original series, Ash vs. the Evil Dead. And then we're going to watch, which I haven't even seen yet, the trailer for the Walking Dead spinoff, Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, yes.
Now, just real fast, not to elaborate into it, but two kind of the same genres, but three, at this point, pop culture situations. First and foremost, are you a comic book fan? Just basically, not just kind of real quick.
I grew up with them.
Right.
I have a lot of respect for them. I'll tell you what, I do have to say thank you to Stan Lee and everybody else who wrote and created comics, because I'll tell you, it kept a lot of kids off the streets doing crimes. It kept a lot of kids' imaginations and interest. And it probably saved a lot of people, man. I can't say personally that I am one of those people, but I do have a great respect for the artistry and, and just all the hard work that goes into putting up one issue. I've met a lot of really, really good artists in my lifetime. I've met Jim Lee. I've met Todd McFarlane. I think that they're phenomenal. Really nice guys. I've met Stan Lee, really nice man. And
I've gone to like 5 Comic-Cons. I've yet to meet Stan Lee.
Yeah?
It's driving me nuts. I have to meet him.
I met him in 2009 when I was in Boston.
Yeah, because
great guy.
I don't know how many more Comic-Cons he has left.
And I got a cousin of mine who actually works for DC Comics.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
He's based out in California, of all places.
My college roommate is a bigwig over at Marvel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think he remembers who I am anymore. So, all right, so that's with superheroes. Ash vs. Evil Dead. Real quick, have you seen, not the new one, but the original trilogy? Are you familiar with those? Are you a fan of that series, the original Evil Dead series?
I thought the Evil Dead, first of all, when I first watched the first one and the second one, that scared the ever-living hell out of me. I don't want to remember them, to be very honest with you.
What about Army of Darkness?
Listen, Army of Darkness, to me, is one of the greatest films ever made. It is funny. It's just totally cool. And that made me a Bruce Campbell fan. I was just, those first two films, man, it scared the hell out of me. And then that movie just brought it back to some fun for me. So I'm really glad that they made Army of Darkness. That's a classic, man. That's a total classic.
And then finally...
And Ash is awesome.
Yeah. Give me some sugar, baby. Finally, Walking Dead.
Oh, come on. you've known me for nearly 20 years, or over 20 years. You know that I am a massive zombie fan. I mean, you're talking to a guy whose favorite horror movie of all time is the 1978 version, the original Dawn of the Dead. How can I say no?
All right. Well, the plan was to watch these 3 trailers, and now for some reason I can't get them up on my phone. So fantastic. But we're going to work on it here. Well, the first trailer I'm going to show you, and what I'm doing here is the reason why I have Mr. Anthony with us. We're going to watch these trailers again. I've seen 2 of them, Batman and Evil Dead, but he hasn't seen any of them. So I want like genuine, actual reactions from a casual, I'll call you a casual superhero fan, of a somewhat divided Evil Dead fan, and then eventually of a diehard Walking Dead fan. And this is just off the cuff, again, gut reactions to these movies, and we'll see. So we're going to start off here. We're going to do a little, kind of take a little pause. You probably won't even, to you won't even know. It's like it happened instantaneously, like you're traveling back in time in a DeLorean.
Wow. A DeLorean.
Heavy, right?
That's deep, man.
You know, this year
Very
is
deep.
the year that Marty comes from the past into the future. October 21st, 2015.
Be prepared, folks. Get ready.
And we're about, what, we're 15 Jawses behind. We have no flying cars.
No. What a horror show. You know?
All right, folks, so we'll be back here in a second. First one up is going to be Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Feel free to pause the podcast, watch the trailer yourself. This is the, I think it's over 3 minutes, about 3.5 minute Comic-Con trailer. The official first trailer for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. We'll be right back. All right. Well, we just, and it was only a couple seconds here, but we just watched the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice trailer. That was my second time watching it, and again, it moved just a little bit. Anthony, you just watched this trailer for the first time. Your thoughts on this movie?
Well, what captured me, first of all, was that Zack Snyder is actually directing this. Mm-hmm. So, you see, folks, there's always hope for really garbage directors when you can direct a horrible Dawn of the Dead remake and then become one of the most famous directors in America. So, see, kids, dreams do come true. Let me just say this. Looking upon it, at least remembering it the way that I remembered it as a kid, it's obviously not a traditional reflection of either character. What I mean by that is you got to ask yourself in this trailer, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy? And what are they fighting over? So, in other words, let's just take pro wrestling terms here for a moment, shall we? Who's the heel here and who's the babyface? Within the trailer, it doesn't really state. Now, there's 2 ways that I can look at it. You can actually say that this will turn out to be a very hard one because for the fans of Superman, fans of Batman, who wins and who loses? Now, if you have a winner and a loser, regardless of what they're fighting for, you are going to, quite honestly, piss off one half of the population. The second thing is, could this possibly be one of those, again, I'm using a pro wrestling reference here. Could it possibly be one of those things where it's like a supposed dream match would be Sting versus The Undertaker, something that everybody wanted to see, and then once they saw it, they're like, oh, God, maybe we shouldn't have seen this?
You know, you're making very valid points. And when this was first announced last year at Comic-Con, when they announced Batman vs. Superman, everyone, the place went ballistic. Never have we seen on the big screen live action Batman versus Superman, let alone Batman crossing over with anyone or Superman crossing over with anyone. So that in itself is a monumental task that was overtaken. Then when Ben Affleck signed on to play Batman, then the whole thing went down the tubes. No one wanted Batfleck at all. No one wanted Ben Affleck to play Batman. But after seeing this trailer, Ben Affleck, in my opinion, brings it as an old. Now remember, this Batman is a weathered Batman. He's an older Batman, so he's seen some stuff. Ben Affleck is bringing it as Batman. Henry Cavill again is doing a fantastic job. It looks like as Superman. You caught a glimpse of Gal Gadot, who was in Fast and Furious movies, as Wonder Woman. I'm still trying to figure out how Wonder Woman fits into this.
She looks hot.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also what you didn't see in the trailer. Aquaman's going to be in it. The Flash is going to be in it. This is pretty much Justice League .5, like before the Justice League movie. But for just in itself, and if you saw that last scene, the last scene in the trailer is Superman ripping the doors off the Batmobile, and just Batman standing up, and they're standing on top of the Batmobile, Superman and Batman, and just my head almost exploded. As a not as a diehard, I don't collect comic books, but I appreciate these movies. I love these movies. But seeing that, to me, Kevin Smith said it 2 years ago when they announced the movie. This alone is probably going to make $2 billion just for the fact that it's Batman versus Superman. But would you? I mean, it looks like to you. This looks like a watchable movie.
Wow, that's a really good question, man. If you see, this is what the problem is.
I'm not saying you're going to go out midnight showing.
Well, let's put it this way. This is what the problem is. Apparently, America does not seem the film industry of the United States they're making movies that cater to a specific audience now. Their horror goes with horror, comedy goes with comedy. Like, they're not making a film or any films that cater to the general consensus. They're making films to cater to a specific audience. Now, unless we have, 300 million Batman and Superman fans, I don't see how this movie can make $1 billion or $2 billion and all that. And look, I don't want to sound like Negative Nancy. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer. But the truth being told is that for me, and I like both characters, I don't want to see either character lose. I don't, and for me, it's just kind of like, I would go and watch it if I was forced, but I'm not going to go and take my money and go, as the first one in the theater on Friday morning, or a midnight showing. I don't mind watching the film, but I'm not going to go and say, oh my God, this is the one thing I got to watch movie of the year, know?
But, okay, so then to sum it all up, does it look good?
I think if you talk in terms of looking good as far as...
I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Would you be entertained if you watch that movie, do you think, as yourself?
If you talk in terms as far as entertainment value goes with looking at it upon, visual effects and all that, oh, heck yeah, who wouldn't be, man? Because... movie magic today is this ain't 1970, 1980, even 1990 or 2000. I mean, this is an era where anything is possible in films. And it probably works to the advantage of the filmmakers because they can actually, what they visualize can actually come to life. And to me, I would be entertained by it, yeah. I mean, there's always that curiosity factor of knowing what will happen at the end.
And I'm sure Wonder Woman helps out big time, too.
Yeah, you're right.
And Lois, it's going to be tough. Wonder Woman or Lois Lane. We'll see about that. All right.
Oh, but I just do want to say, though, that in real life, I really believe that if these two characters fought, Superman would kill him. That's just me.
Well, if you saw in the first teaser trailer, Batman's suit is laced with kryptonite. So.
Well, that's good to know.
All right. So that's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Personally, like I said, my head exploded. I geeked out. I nerded out big time. Next up is the Stars. The Stars original show, Ash versus the Evil Dead. Again, I've already seen this trailer. Mr. Anthony's going to see it for the first time, and at least now this is a series you're more familiar with, of which a movie you're even, remember seeing. And again, we will be right back, and you can cue it up yourself. Again, this is Ash vs. Evil Dead, the official trailer for stars from the San Diego Comic-Con. See you in a little bit. All right, we're back. We just watched the trailer, which is actually an extended trailer. I didn't see the first half of that trailer. I don't remember seeing for Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which will premiere on Stars this Halloween. And I'm just gonna say it short and sweet. I have to subscribe to Stars come Halloween because this TV show looks fantastic.
Well, I don't have Stars, and my cable bill is going to go up because I need to get that channel. Holy mother of God.
That trailer looked fantastic.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If I can install that contraption that can spring up my shotgun so I can catch it and shoot it, yeah. I'm installing that you-know-what in my apartment.
He takes the jacket off. You know, he's got the blue jacket. I mean, the blue shirt, and pretty much looking like Ash. They showed some scenes from the original movie of him, and Boomstick. That the comedy is there. You know, him tightening up the waist belt and everything. What did he say? Oh, that's what it was. His heart's racing like a quarterback on prom night.
I like the fact that they're bringing Ash back. It's great to see Bruce Campbell because I'm a pretty big fan. And at the same time, like, what's even more fun about this equation is that it's taking you back to the root of what happened. So there is a storyline. It looks like there is character development, which is very important. That's something that's lacking today. And it's just awesome to see Bruce Campbell, man. I can't wait for this because, I got to definitely subscribe to Stars.
Did you see the remake? The new Evil Dead? I didn't see it. I saw some of it.
I did not.
And that was just pure terror. That was a horror movie. It was not campy. It doesn't, after 5 or 10 watches becomes comical like the first Evil Dead really becomes. Mm-hmm. The remake was scary. This is comedy. I mean, it's gory, don't get me wrong. And I believe Sam Raimi's directing it. No, he's probably producing it. Has a lot of Sam Raimi aspects to it.
You know that's his boy, I mean, and the fact that those two are working together, it's going to be good.
Have you ever seen the movie My Name is Bruce Campbell? Or I Am Bruce Campbell?
No,
I think it's My Name is Bruce Campbell. Mm-hmm. If you can ever find it somewhere, rent it. Bruce Campbell stars as Bruce Campbell, and this no-name town asks Bruce Campbell to visit because their town's being overrun by a demon, and they think he's Ash from the Evil Dead movies, but he's actually Bruce Campbell in real life.
Oh my God!
It is hysterical. You got to, if you ever can, watch this movie.
I will say this: it's better that he comes back as Ash, as opposed to that dumb cowboy show that he did one time in the '90s or so. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Not Jack of All Trades. That was another show he was in. What was the name of that show?
But you know what, you folks, if you're a fan, you know what I'm talking about. It's better to see him.
We both are going to IMDb right now.
Yep, or Wikipedia.
IMDb will be faster. Bruce Campbell. What was that show?
But
I know there's people right now screaming at the top of their lungs because they know the name of the show.
Folks, let's just put it this way.
He was in 117 movies. He's in Call of Duty.
The guy's 57 years old, and it's awesome to see him,
He was in Fargo, the TV show, as Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Oh, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Ah, dang.
That's what it was. See?
Me too. Wow.
Wikipedia is quicker, folks.
Well, I was too busy reading all the other stuff. So, Ash vs. Evil Dead. You'll be watching that show.
Hell effing yeah.
All right, we'll take it. All right, so the last trailer we're going to see. Now, this one,
I can't wait for this one.
I've seen a full trailer, a half a trailer, which now is a full trailer.
I've seen
now,
both.
This is the first time I haven't seen this yet. Fear the Walking Dead. This is the spin-off of The Walking Dead.
Definitely can't wait for this one. I've seen both.
So, let's see if I can start to pull it up here. But you're a fan of The Walking Dead, right?
Yes, absolutely. No. Let me reiterate something here, okay? I am a zombie fan. Once again, for those of you who don't know of this, my favorite horror movie of all time is the 1978 version of Dawn of the Dead, the original. So anything zombie, hey, look, man, this is coming from a person who actually thinks that there will be a zombie apocalypse one day. So,
A zombie jamboree. Hey. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to watch. Again, this is the official Comic-Con trailer for The Walking Dead world premiere. You can see all of these on YouTube, which is pretty much where I'm pulling it up from. So we're going to take a quick break. If you get a chance, pause the podcast, pull up the trailer, watch it, join us again in a few minutes. Talk to you in a few. Wow. Okay, well, we just watched the third trailer, Fear the Walking Dead, which will be on AMC, debuts August 23rd, I believe it said, on AMC. And this is a spin-off of The Walking Dead. And, well, let's just get right into it.
This is what I'm concerned about. And this is coming truthfully from a zombie.
First of all, I'd like to point out, it clearly looks like a prequel.
I don't think it is.
Oh, no?
I actually think that it's a different segment of what's happening in the country prior to all that went down in
Atlanta.
That's
what I'm saying. It seems like it's leading up toward. Well, I didn't read. Honestly, I didn't read anything. Like, I don't know the story behind Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know if it's parallel to The Walking Dead. Or...
I think it is.
Okay, so it's in a different part of the country.
So, in other words, it's in L.A. First of all.
Oh, is it?
Right. From what I've seen of other trailers,
okay.
It is from L.A. and or in California somewhere. So, Rippo, be careful. And so to my other family too, but basically, from what I heard, it's California based, and what. To me, what it is that it's giving the viewer a different perspective of what's happening in the country, and it's not explaining to you the phenomenon, which is the traditional concept. They don't want to give you a false pretense about how it started and all that. This is what I'm concerned about. You have The Walking Dead, and it's one of the hottest shows on TV.
And let me just start here because it may come out just naturally, but I was going to say spoiler alert at this point. If anyone hasn't watched The Walking Dead up to this point, so again, I'm giving you that fair warning. Spoiler alert. Anthony, you have freedom to say, mention whatever you want about storylines. I stopped watching the show a few seasons ago only because I fell behind. So go right ahead. Knock yourself out.
Okay, this is what I'm concerned about, and this is what worries me. Folks, what bothers me here is that The Walking Dead is a very, very popular show. It's one of the hottest shows on TV right now, as we speak. What bothers me is that, let's say, they want to create another show and they want to capitalize on this, okay? Two things are going to happen. One, if it bombs, it's going to affect The Walking Dead. To me, I think, in some manner, it's just going to be... And then second of all, overexposure. You're creating too much of something that's good. It's like, think of your favorite food. Imagine if I told you to eat it every day. At some point, you will get fed up of it. Hollywood seems to like to force feed things on people, and I think that that's wrong. So when they see that one thing is made money, they'll basically just make 20,000 sequels. And it just, as far as I'm concerned, I just think it could be overexposure. I mean, AMC is taking a risk right now because, so what are we going to do? If this becomes successful, we're going to make a third one now, and a fourth one, and a fifth one?
It's definitely them capitalizing. This is the first original. This has nothing to do with the comics. There is no comic of Fear the Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely them. Listen, I don't blame them. Capitalize where you can. It's just...
But something has to come from nothing, though.
What, are they going into Season 6 of The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Which was also, we're not going to watch it here. I mean, we may watch it later, but not part of this podcast. They also released a trailer for Season 6 of The Walking Dead.
Seen it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, so then you saw it. So I guess these are just two different... It's almost their way of... I guess they got tired of the secludedness of The Walking Dead, where it's the same group of people once in a while finding a different group to try and survive, versus Fear the Walking Dead looks like it's a city thriving, and then because of whatever reason, which eventually I'm sure we'll find out, the undead, they never use the word zombie in the show, but the undead come to life. But my question is this: if the Fear of the Walking Dead's in L.A., The Walking Dead's in Atlanta, was it just traveling across the country?
Well, in every show and every movie, it claims to be either a nationwide or worldwide phenomenon that's unexplained. So,
well, they kind of explained it in The Walking Dead.
It's an air virus or something like that, right?
No, didn't they say like early, like season 1 or 2? I stopped watching it like halfway through season 3. But didn't they mention something like everyone's got it?
Right. Is that it's an airborne virus that they found, that Rick found out in the CDC. But the thing about it is they don't explain how it came about, why it got out of control.
So all right, let's digress for a second here. Walking Dead, from the end of season 3 on, again, I haven't watched any of it. Pretty much when they were in the jail, they never explained anything more about the virus. It was just them just walking around finding other groups. It's
just basically them surviving.
Taking on the governor and that other group of people.
Them surviving, and that's it.
All right. So this will probably shed some light then, more light on, because it seems like it's the beginning of the outbreak in L.A.
Okay, folks, let me try to take you back onto something here that I think most of you may not remember because of age or whatever, unless you're a really big fan of this whole zombie phenomenon. When George Romero first came out with Night of the Living Dead, and I don't want to digress too much, in that first movie, there was a scene where a news reporter had claimed that this whole phenomenon about the zombie outbreak started because of a satellite that came from Venus, or some other planet that came back to Earth, and it affected the air or affected the Earth in some manner. There was an explanation. There was no explanation in Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and all these other movies that Romero created. It's just something that will keep you thinking. Now, if Robert Kirkman actually gives you an explanation as to what's happening, he will break tradition, and actually then it will basically leave people with saying, well, what's next? Okay, so this is the reason. Well, then what's the point of watching it then?
Okay.
I'm sure that he's not that dumb, and he will actually put something together where he'll give you enough leeway, enough rope or enough slack, but not expose everything.
Okay, so with all that being said, and I mean, I know you know more about The Walking Dead than Fear the Walking Dead. What are your, then, thoughts of Fear the Walking Dead? Would you be watching Fear the Walking Dead?
Yeah, I definitely want to watch it because I want to see exactly where that angle, per se, is coming from. But at the same time, I kind of wonder if it will do harm or if it will hinder or help. You
think the two shows will cross over?
Wow, that's a damn good possibility.
I mean, Atlanta versus L.A., and no one's flying anywhere, so probably not.
You never know. Maybe they'll meet up in Texas or something.
Are they still in Atlanta?
No, they're in Washington, D.C. at this point.
Oh, they're going the other way.
In Alexandria, Virginia. But it doesn't mean that they can't move,
No, I know, but they're going the other way.
Right.
So, all right. Well, that was it. We got 3 trailers. So let me ask you this. Of the 3 trailers you saw, which one are you most excited about?
Well, I know what to expect with, obviously we know what Fear the Walking Dead is. So I'm not really worried about that. I would say of the 3, I got to watch Ash versus the Evil Dead, man, for sure. For sure.
What do you say? Yo, Granny. Party on. No, I forgot you said something. I forgot what it was. Well, anyway. All right, well, that was it. I mean, thank you very much for joining me here tonight. I'm glad that we're able to get that gut reaction of 3 very popular trailers that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. 3 of many trailers, both TV shows and movies.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me out on the podcast here, and I hope to return sometime soon.
No, definitely. Well, we're going to definitely have you. And everyone, thank you for downloading the show. Remember, follow me everywhere, every social media that's possible. More365, MOHR365. And I'll catch you next time. Anthony, again, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.